a video on these proving baskets that I picked up in the charity shop. Pretty cheap, £2.99. That's not bad. That's not bad. They're normally about £7 or £8 to buy. The ones that I use normally have got this linen material lining to them and a bit of elastic to kind of keep it on. But I have seen people use them without that bit of fabric. So I'm curious to know if I can actually get that to work. These are definitely proving baskets, but someone's probably just used them as decorative baskets to put things in, maybe potpourri or such like. So I kind of thought, well, these cloths need changing now and again, and if they don't dry out properly, they can go mouldy. So I kind of thought, if the day comes that I can no longer use those liners, will I be okay just using them without the liners? Will it actually work? So I'm going to shape this dough, and I've floured that basket, so we'll see if there is enough flour in there to keep it from sticking. So just shape my dough, and it won't take long. So this is the technique that I use. I roll the dough and push it at the bottom. Then what it does, it causes tension in the dough, and when you create tension in the dough, then you get that split when you slice the bread open. Although I'm using cheap flour at the moment, so the splits on the bread aren't particularly as good. So I kind of think that I'm always looking to improve my bread making and try something new and try something different. My main aim is to make bread as inexpensive as possible and as the best that I can for the amount of work to put into something. So there's the folding in technique of kneading bread, which I don't do. I knead the bread for 10 minutes and then let it ferment. I don't want to have to come back to my bread 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times within a day. I just find that's a bit too much of my time. So I just knead for 10 minutes by hand. Don't use the machine, and then form the dough when I'm putting it in the basket, and then that should create enough tension. So these will be, I'm making 3 loaves, so we'll be able to do a comparison. So these will be in the fridge for slowly fermenting for maybe 12 hours, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 18 hours, something like that, until they've risen to a nice kind of height. And then we'll cook them, and we'll see if they come out of these new proving baskets. Well, new to me, not new to the world. This bread comes out of this mould. No. Nope, doesn't want to come out. Oh, maybe. Might just need a little bit of teasing. Certainly needs more flour if we're going to do this in future. Okay. Okay. So it needs more flour in future. It's going to be a bit flat, but we'll bake it anyway, and we'll give it a slice anyway and see what happens, and then we'll give it a squirt of water anyway, and if it doesn't work out, we can always turn it into flatbreads. So into the oven, 25 minutes, and we'll see what it's like when it comes out. Look, I have not got high hopes for this, but you never know. Moving off, because we're not made of money. Ooh, that's alright, isn't it? That's alright. It's got that nice pattern on. So, that's done okay, hasn't it? Considering we needed to tease it out. Now, it hasn't got the nice split in it because I'm using cheap flour from the supermarket rather than a better quality flour that's got a higher gluten content. If a higher gluten content flour, we get that nice split, and slightly down to hydration as well. But there we go. So I don't need to worry if the liners of my proving baskets ever go. We can simply put a lot more flour in the proving basket and use it that way. Although if we're using these all the time, it won't be so bad, but sometimes it can be up to 2 weeks in between when I bake bread. So there would be a danger that the moisture would get to the flour and turn it mouldy. So that would be something that would have to be thought about. We'd have to knock the excess flour out every time and maybe give it a bit of a wash. But works all right, isn't it? But there we go. Relatively a success.